Hello everyone. Today we will look at the new features added with version. We will use this kind of primitive, it will be quite clear on it. There are a lot of curves and segments here. The selection functions have been expanded, and as you may remember, you had to click on each object to select it. It was horrible. Guys, just select one, and while holding down the Alt key, left click on the second one. After that, let's say we delete them. Let's roll back. I was in a hurry. This function that we just used, you can use it manually through the Select menu. Select two adjacent segments and click on the loop ring. Using a hotkey, select one item and left-click on the second one. I try to make it look like a Blender function. Now, look at the function for the curve mode. For us, it's like the border of the object, since there is one segment along the edge. By selecting one curve on the boundary of an object, you can click on the function to select the boundary. If you use the Shift key to select another active curve on the border, you can select this border as well. And then you can use the Select Handle function to change the shape. Let's turn on Cavity. Now look further. We use the loop ring to select a loop from segments. You can select here and here. It's just gorgeous. A similar function is available for curves. You can select one curve and hold down the Alt key while left-clicking on an adjacent curve. If you randomly select one curve, you'll be prompted with the following. Select two adjacent curves. This is necessary so that he understands in which direction the curve should be highlighted. If you want to choose the second one right away, this method is not suitable for now. You can do it this way. To do this, select the loop ring in the segments, and now you can use the curved edge selection feature. Previously, this function may not have made much sense, but now they provide an incredible speed up. Now we can immediately change the shape. Let's scale by limiting the y-axis. Looks like I already did this at the very beginning one more time. So, we've already got something that looks like a cookie. Let's select these curves and extrude them. There are a lot of curves here. It might be slow. I'll have to try to optimize it in the future. Let's make the grid a little smaller. It's so nice to highlight the details now. Let's make another extrude. Let's make a small digression. Let's select the points and magnetize back. Since we are already in this mode, let's switch the points to a vector. Let's give it a shape. Let it be an alien flower. Let's move two at once. Now the choice does not take much time, and you can change forms very quickly. We already had this function for selecting curves between selected segments. Let's bend them down a little. I try to do it slowly for the video, but in reality, it takes seconds. Let's continue here. We've slightly improved the fill curve function. You can now fill it with a flow. If you select one curve on the border and there are two curves on the border next to it, it will use them to close. It's not perfect yet, but you might not encounter that. Maybe it's just me. Those places can be closed manually, but basically it works. Just press the F key a few times to close the rest. I'll look for the problem and fix it in the next update. I think these ones that are inside also need to be pulled out a little. What a cool thing it turned out to be. It resembles a squash. We can change the mesh on it. It will become softer or, on the contrary, sharper. Let's select the boundary of the curves. Let's select the bottom and widen it a little. By the way, this loop selection feature is also very useful for manually changing the mesh resolution. Overall, it has sped up the work process significantly. Let's close this back cover too. Now look, we've moved the curves and now their starting points are unclear. The update starting point function now keeps the selection. Let's try stream filling again. So look what else has appeared. Although it will probably be hard to see here, let's do it on another object. We'll probably add ring again. For curves, we also have a shortest path feature. It works like this. Select two curves and click the button. It will select the shortest path between them. You can do it using a key like in Blender. Select one of the curves and then hold down the Control key and left-click on the other curve. Overall, the selection features in our add-on have improved significantly. After modeling a spaceship, the lack of these features was truly driving me crazy. This feature is not yet available in segment mode, but may appear in a future update. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I publish all the latest news in the post section. I almost forgot, guys, by selecting the loop ring, you can immediately make a loop cut. That's all. Thank you all for watching. I'd appreciate your support.